Welcome to Rom Wills. Money Matters. Pay off vacation debt as soon as possible. And this might seem basic, but I talk about money management on here because people who follow me know I went on a vacation a few weeks ago, right? Oh, I had a serious debt because Rom had to do it up. I had to fly out there first class and get a real expensive hotel. It wasn't that bad. And the scary thing it wasn't even the top one I could have got, but it was San Diego. They getting people visiting. And then, I was pushing a BMW for a rental car, so I was living it up. That was a lot of money on one of my credit cards too. And generally, I'd like to keep my credit card under 5% of, only that's my self-imposed limit, just 5% of my total credit. I never use my total credit, haven't even come near it. Because trust me, I could pay, just with my total credit, I could pay a year's worth of living here. But I digress. The thing is, I still want to keep it at a certain thing. So what I'm doing now, I've already started paying down that credit card, that extra debt on my credit card. Start paying for all those things, and really it'll be paid off in a couple months. Maybe even sooner. Actually, technically it could be sooner, but also like feeding my savings. And if I had to, I could pay it off right away if I had to. But my point is, you want to pay that off right away, because I'm going to tell you what, stuff like that is what get people caught up. That extra bit of money you spend, especially if it's a lump sum, is what gets people caught up. Because they might, say they go on a vacation, airline tickets, hotel, car, buying stuff, eating, all that. Let's put it at about, let's just say $5,000. Now, you might have a credit card limit of $20,000. And you say, man, okay, yeah, it's just this little bit. Okay, it's just this little bit. Yeah, I can pay it off. Just pay the regular bill, because, the regular bill ain't going to be that much. You got 5,000, they ain't gonna charge you 500 typically. It might be like 100 or something, right? But then it's so easy to get caught up. That's why you gotta pay it off as soon as possible. Because you'd be like, well, you know what? Let me just pay my usual, right? And even if it's a little bit extra, you might say, well, instead of 100, I'll pay 200. All right. Now, even if you have a credit card that is interest-free, and yeah, they do exist, it can still build up. But then a lot of people have stuff that has interest in it. That starts building up. Now, you might not think about it right away, and you paying your bill every month, but then all of a sudden you look up, instead of $5,000, you got a credit debt of $7,000, because you're going to use your credit card for everything else. And then, or your credit cards, all of a sudden that debt gets bigger. You're like, what the hell happened? And you still paying your regular stuff. That's the thing, you still paying. You paying a little bit extra, but not enough. All of a sudden you look up, and maybe an emergency come up or something, You got to use some money for, car repair or something like that, But that's how you get caught up. That is how you get caught up. All of a sudden, you owe a whole lot of money. And then it gets tougher. See, the thing is, once you get that vacation debt, have some extra money for it. Ideally, already have it in your account. Remember, I always talk about savings. I always say, have a savings. You could pay it off with that. Indeed, you might have been able to pay for the whole trip with the savings too. Now, that's something else you can do. But let's start with the vacation debt. Pay that as soon, hit it hard. You might not be able to hit it totally in the first month, but in a few months, just have a plan. Just say, look, I'm gonna knock that down. Just have a plan, because that's where you get caught up. Either vacation debt or a little bit extra here and there. And then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, wait, how did this happen? Seriously, that's how people get caught up. They pay that. It's always on some extra thing. In fact, I've read about people getting caught up. They might have a medical emergency, serious car bill. They might have to fix the roof or something. And you know, most people don't have like discretionary income like that, like a savings, an emergency fund, and all of that. I mean, we just gotta be realistic. But I ain't saying don't go on vacation or something. You still got to get some rest. So when you get there, just have a plan. Even before you even like spend everything, just have a plan. Just say, okay, I'm gonna put this. I got this, this, this. Because like I said, I already knocked off, I say about 1/3 of it already. I already knocked out 1/3, about to knock out another third in a couple days from when I'm recording this. So then it'll be reasonable, and then the next month, just boom, knock it out. And then everything's back to normal. Highly important, because you really got to manage your money. That's how people get caught up. It's always the extra thing, because I would say a significant amount of people can deal with regular stuff. They can get it. But it's always that extra. It's always that extra that gets people caught up. It is very easy to do so. And indeed, even if you can just do it with savings, that'd be ideal. Like as long as you keep enough in your savings for any real emergencies, you know. And indeed, if you're really rolling with it, you got an emergency fund anyway, so you can just use the savings for that. But let's be real, most of us ain't rolling like that, you know. Most of us ain't taking some interstate highway bus system or something like, interstate bus company or something to any place. Most of us gonna be flying, got to stay in some hotel, something like that. And, you really want to do some stuff. Shoot, you want to hit all those fancy places. You want to eat at some of those fancy places. All right. But most of us going to have to use that credit card. So take care of it, deal with it, pay it off as soon as possible. Just have a plan. Even if it's 6 months, it could be 6 months, just have it. I would say this, if you can have the regular amount you're gonna pay every month, plus like divide it up into certain months and say, okay, this is the extra I'm gonna put on. So like I said, a lot of times it might be like 100 or something. A minimum. But first of all, if you're listening to Rom, you're paying more than the minimum anyway. So say you're paying 150 or 200. Let's just say 200. Then maybe say, well, I'm gonna put another 300 on the extra stuff, and just stick with that and get that debt paid off. All right. So I want y'all to really think about that. I mean, it seems small. Seems like nothing, but like I said, it's those things that get people caught up credit-wise. They look up and they're like, how this happen? You didn't take care of that extra. So I want y'all to really think about that. So anyway, till I speak to y'all again, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.